Hello, everyone. I'm Tits,
Hey everyone, and I'm Areolas.
and we're reviewing Swallow. This was Lorenzo's movie of choice last week. First of all, how did you first hear of this movie?
I don't I think I was like on Shutter and it was Shutter or AMC, one of those that I had just subscribed to, and it was just
All
hey,
right.
you might like this movie, and I was like, "Huh, what is this about?" And then I watched it once and I was like, "That's a weird ass fucking movie."
Yeah, it is weird. I also thought it was weird. Before we go into the review of the movie, uh, did you have any knowledge of this movie before you went into it, or just like cold? You're just cold,
Yeah, when I first saw it, because I've seen it twice now, because I saw it again for the review with you.
right?
But the first time I saw it, I was like, this is such a weird. I had no idea about it at
You
all,
had
like
no
what it was
idea.
about. Yeah, I had no idea what it was about. It just said like psychological horror, and
Hmm.
yeah, like I was like, okay.
I thought it was vor. But clicking into it, I was reminded very quickly that it was not, in fact, vor. So,
hmm
which kind of disappointed me, seeing this movie. So
Well, you had high hopes for it, I guess.
yeah, I had high hopes, but it didn't turn out to be involve swallowing people.
uh,
So what do you think of the chick? First of all, her name is Hunter. Like, what do you think of her when she's first introduced? She's just first introduced at a pool. She's cleaning a pool. She
mhm.
looks like she has a nice lifestyle. Uh, what impressions does she give you first?
I feel bad for her. She seems, and you mean you get it more as the movie progresses, but she's so like boring and so plain.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel angry at her watching this movie. It's so she's cleaning this pool, and there's this whole process of like, we're gonna chop up this lamb that we created ourselves, and then we're gonna have a nice business dinner, right, with the husband, and she is just
hmm
like sitting there. um do you feel that she should be interrupted as much as she's interrupted in this movie?
I feel bad when it happens, but I understand it because she has no like backbone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she has no backbone. I
Yeah.
personally think that whenever she's like trying to ramble on about a story, I'm just like, all right, shut up, woman. You need to learn that brevity is the soul of wit. Even if you're not trying to be witty, be short, because everyone has short attention spans,
hmm
especially at this dinner. Um, she is an interesting character. Uh, you know, do you think that she should be wasting her time on those time wasters? I like to call phone games time wasters.
Oh, is that what you call it? Well,
Yeah.
you know what really gets to me is like, yeah, you see her wasting her time or trying to find ways to fill the time in her life because it's so boring. But
Yeah.
that was a lot of how women were back in quote unquote the day when men would only work and women would stay home and take care of the house. So like
That's true.
there was like a point in America, maybe, or they probably still like that in some third world countries where that's all women do is like stay home all day and waste time. And I'm not saying it's their fault. It's just the husband is like expected to do everything with
Hmm.
money, or he makes enough money so she doesn't need to. So she's just there like wasting time.
I guess that makes sense. My read on her is she has a phone. So we're living in a world where strong, independent women exist with jobs. And I'm just thinking, okay, if you are fortunate enough to not have to work and your husband does all the working, I do appreciate how she does the house cleaning, and then once she's done with the house cleaning, she just the one part that I don't appreciate is her using her phone. And I have more of an issue with this because she then lies to her family-in-law about how she likes to draw. And as somebody who has spent so much of my free time growing up drawing, I'm offended by this because I haven't seen her draw. She's just playing Candy Crush,
Hmm. And she
like
could
on
be
her phone. It's
lying.
literally Candy Crush, and it's
Yeah,
just annoying.
she could be lying about that just to make
Yeah,
herself seem
she's
more
definitely
interesting.
lying.
Yeah, just like, "Oh, I have
You know,
hobbies. I have hobbies. Yeah, I draw." And it's
yeah,
just like, "Okay, yeah, like I think everyone kids do that." You know what I mean? But
yeah.
like she has no proof of her actually doing a hobby, you know?
Yeah, exactly. If I would be liking her more if she did anything else with her time other than stare out the window and just be like, I'm having bedtime. I'm sad. I'm sad." That was my read on her during the entirety of this movie. Oh man, but I do think that the husband married her just to take care of his house. What do you think? Why do you think the husband even married her?
You know, I don't know. I mean, she is pretty, right? Like
Yeah,
she's a pretty woman. She probably, well, I mean, as you learn later on, she really came from nothing but like mid or low retail. So she was probably easily impressed by
yeah,
whatever job he had, and then he ends up getting like the better job where they buy that nice ass house.
yeah.
And you know, it's just like, wow, it's a lot to her. And you know, maybe he does love her, maybe she does love him, but it seems very like I don't know, like the parents told him, hey, you need to settle down or
Yeah.
something. I don't know, it's very old tradition, like like, you know, because I think they're married, right?
They're getting married. Well,
Yeah.
they're getting married, they get married, and then throughout like the movie, he wants a divorce. So that's what happens in this movie. So also it seems like throughout this movie she doesn't really appreciate her life whatsoever because she's not working for it. Like her husband is constantly working, even like while at the dinner table, he's typing on his phone, like doing like business stuff, and she's like trying to talk to him about planting flowers, and I'm like, bitch, no, don't talk to the husband about that. Talk to other women about that. Seriously, don't bog down your husband's money making brain with your dumb time wasty ways to fill your time because you're bored. I don't like her at all. Do you think that she should be talking about planting flowers with a guy?
I mean, I feel like she has absolutely no one else. And it's crazy, you know, like she has a phone. She could
Yeah.
fucking follow a message board or something,
Yeah.
or on Twitter, whatever their equivalent
Y-
might be, and get some
y-
friends.
yeah, you
But
could get friends that way. I don't know.
yeah,
Complain about your life on Twitter like everyone else does.
but then she gets that book from, I think, her
Yeah.
mother-in-law, and you know, it tells her, you know, to do, it says, this is the quote, it I wrote it down: every day try to do something unexpected and push yourself to try new things. And for
Uh
whatever reason, that in her head, that gives her the idea to swallow things because it's the most random thing.
I I read on this situation that because she's pregnant and she's already like she just found out she's pregnant, so she's sad because her life is already sad, and having a kid with this guy that she barely likes is only staying with him because of like she doesn't know how to make money, and so she's in a security position. I think she's trying to murder the baby every time she swallows metal, like, or murder
Yeah,
herself.
yeah, you would think she's like trying to do that, but like she doesn't think she's doing that. She just thinks she's doing something random, and it she gets off on it. Like
Yeah.
it's like a control thing. Like, oh, I
Yeah.
just swallowed that, and it feels good to have some sort of control over myself. And then she goes and fishes it out of the toilet with fucking gloves on, and
Yeah.
and washes it and looks at it like a little trophy, you know?
Just puts it in her mouth again. Man, every time she's like putting stuff in her mouth, I'm like, first of all, just eat more meat. Suck more wiener. You clearly want stuff in your mouth. Like maybe she has like an oral fixation like I do, but I don't swallow metal pieces, okay? Like
Well, and she's swallowing just like any random knickknack. Like what was it after she swallow? What did she swallow first? The marble.
it was a marble. Oh, that was like a rock or something.
Yeah,
A
the first
battery.
one. Yeah, the first one was a marble, and then she like shit that out, and then she went for the. She was vacuuming and she found a thumbtack,
Yeah. Yeah.
and yeah,
That was awful.
yeah, that she was like just staring at it, like, can I do it? Am I able to do it? Oh man, I don't know. She was wanting it so bad, you know.
you have to be incredibly unhappy with your life in order to do that. I can't imagine swallowing a thumbtack. Like, I react painfully whenever I step on a thumbtack. Like, imagine that going through your mouth, going through your stomach, going through your intestines. It's lucky that she didn't get it to her intestines because then it's just gonna poke holes in there.
Yeah, yeah,
Cause a lot of internal
sh-
damage.
it'll shred it by just like sliding down. But it's amazing that she got it through her throat, because that's probably the hardest part, right?
Yeah,
I remember one time when this wasn't even when I was a kid, just like a couple years back, I heated up mashed potatoes like really hot in the
yeah.
microwave, and I ate them, and I felt all the burning mashed
Ooh.
potatoes go down my throat, and it was torture. Like, it hurts so bad to have something that hot just slowly go down your throat, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh my god, like that hurts so bad, and I can't imagine a thumbtack, like.
I mean, I've had hot liquid down my throat, but that's a sharp metal object that she is willingly deciding to put herself through.
Yeah.
Also, I want to mention the self-help book again because I feel like like when I saw the self-help book, my first thought was like, "Oh, well, this has to be like some sort of Chekhov's gun, right? Like, oh, you better be here's a book because you're clearly depressed and you might be depressed after you're pregnant." And so what my first thought was like, "Oh, she's going to murder everyone, including her husband and run away." And only part of that is true. But I bring up the self help book because it was not a copy of How to Win Friends and Influence People. It's the only one that works. Everything else is a derivative of that book, and it's just to sell you money.
Mhm.
I mean, it's not sell you money, sell you their book for money. So, I also have like a problem with the friends around her and the in-laws around her. They're like pretending to really care for her, but no one's like actually asking how she's doing. No one's trying to like figure out what she's up or what she's about. Like, why is she like this? Everyone's like, okay, yeah, we take your word for it. And I have a problem with that. If you were near her, would you try to ask what's up with her?
I probably wouldn't.
You wouldn't? Yeah, I wouldn't
No,
either.
that reminds me of, like, I don't know if you've ever worked like or not even worked retail, like just go like somewhere and people ask you, "Oh, how are you?" And they don't expect you to actually answer honestly. They just
Yeah,
expect you to say, "Oh, I'm fine. How are you?" "I'm
yeah,
fine. How are you?" Like, that's just and that's how it is in this like little world. Like, I know I had the part here where her husband brought the dudes over to party, and
yeah.
that one guy would like hugs her for a little bit, and it's very strange because you could tell like she just kind of wants to connect with someone. I don't even
Yeah.
think she connects with her own husband, you know.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, "Is she gonna cheat on the husband?" Like, and then I thought, "No, she doesn't have enough backbone to go through with
Yeah.
it unless
and then
a guy forced it on her."
and then that's where she shits out the thumbtack and she's all bleeding all rowdy, but she's
Yeah.
pretty happy
Ew.
about that.
You know what's the most dangerous thing I've seen said to her? Because she has this mental problem. So I think this is like the second time that she's in the hospital. The first time she's in the hospital, hungry. The husband is understandably very angry at her. The second time, he's like, "Okay, I'm here to try to understand you. What is up with you?" And he says, and I quote, "You can't do anything wrong, even if you try." And I'm just thinking, this is a dangerous sentiment to say to a woman. This is so
Well,
dangerous. Like, the next thing that she does is like, uh, take a silk tie and iron it, which
uh-huh.
is a mistake, something that she did wrong. And I'm just like, this is instant karma. Husband, you got to be more careful with your words, especially around a woman.
But it's so funny how he says that, and like it's not even anything. I mean, to him it was important, but it's just a tie that she irons instead of steams it. And he's like,
Yeah.
"You gotta steam this, honey." Like he gets super pissed off, and she's like, "I'm sorry," and he's like, "Fine, I'll just wear something else." Like he gets
Yeah.
super pissed off.
Yeah, he does.
You said it was right after he just said, "Oh yeah, you can do no wrong. I love you, sweetheart," or whatever.
Yeah, that was so weird. You know what's also weird? Have you ever heard of like um eating your placenta? Like I see an ad that she's
hmm
watching and it's like it's trying to sell you on the idea to eat your placenta. And that just seems weird to me.
I've
Like,
heard of that. I heard of that because I've heard like celebrities do that,
hmm,
and then it makes big news because apparently you can get the placenta whenever it's taken out. You dry it and then you make it into like a pill form. You know how they put into little capsules like
yeah.
dry powder, and it's supposed to be good for you.
Hmm.
So there's something else for you to sell if you ever have anything like your hair. If you ever have your placenta lying around, you could sell that
All
too.
right.
I'm
I
about to say
will.
women have all these things they could sell off their bodies.
Honestly, I just when I saw that ad, the first thought that I had was like, "Oh, this is just the hospital's way of not disposing this placenta, not having to pay for disposal costs. They're trying to push it on you."
Yeah, it's weird. It's a real natural type of gimmick, like, oh hey, it came out of your body.
Yeah.
It's what fed the child in there, the placenta, so it
Yeah.
still has nutrients, it's still good for you. But I don't know, that's just weird. I don't know about keeping it in a jar or something.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of that idea. It just seems a little bit weird to me. Um Also, I just find it interesting that like she's just trying to continuously eat metal more and more after the second time. After people are like, "Okay, fine. We know you're having a problem. Let's send you to the therapist, right?" And and she is not trying to say anything towards her towards the therapist. Like she's just trying to be as insular as possible.
hmm
Uh do you think she should be more open to this therapist or open to anyone in order
she
for her
sh-
to enjoy her life?
well, she should. I mean, as far as with a therapist, she should, because she's obviously like sick, but
Yeah.
she doesn't think anything's really wrong with her,
Yeah.
obviously there's a lot wrong with her if she's swallowing all these things and has that fixation.
Ah, yeah.
And it just cracks me up, to not go too far at it, but whenever at the end of one of the sessions she's like, "Oh yeah, did I ever tell you my I'm a rape baby," or something like that.
I thought she was raped. she was
that
raped and she couldn't say anything else past that because
no, that her mother was raped, and she was like the baby that was made from the rape.
then I'm like, how why the fuck does she have no backbone?
I don't know. I think she just is so used to keeping all these secrets inside of her that she doesn't like ever want to mention anything out. But
Hmm.
I know when she mentions, she's like, "Oh, did I ever?" And she says it so like, "Oh yeah, the whole rape thing." Uh, she was like, "Oh, you were your mother was raped. Yeah, you want to see a picture of my dad? I carry it
Hmm.
around with me." And it's like
Hmm.
his mug shot of him being arrested, and the even the therapist is like, this isn't normal," like.
Yeah. I just I mostly dislike the part where she's just saying everything's fine after each swallowing event. Like she just tries to play it off as like some sort of game. And to a point where it's like not a game. Like it never was a game. I'm just not a big fan of her like dismissing her health like that. It's
Yeah,
just
and
weird.
she makes it seem like it's not a big deal. Like, oh, I just swallowed a battery. It's no big deal. It's like, dude, that's a battery. Like, that's
Mm.
not supposed to go inside of you. And then the part where what does she swallow? Like a small or like a screwdriver for glasses. She
Yeah.
tries to swallow from that when that one dude who they hire like a 24/7 live-in nanny.
Yeah.
It's just some foreign guy to watch her, almost like she's on suicide watch or something.
Yeah.
And she swallows that, and they go to the hospital for it and take it out.
Ah, man, I feel bad for that guy. Because that guy, he's talking to her. He's like, yeah, I just was in war. I was in war, so I never had the time to think about all these mental things going on because I was being shot at. And then when I
Hmm.
heard that, I was like, okay, uh, I like this guy because he's like here. He's like down to earth. He's really liking the fact that he's in this cool house with like a pool because he used to be shot at and now he's not being shot at. And so I just think that she like this entire movie to me seems like a big old metaphor for appreciating your life. It's also a metaphor about like consumption because there's many different ways she's like consuming stuff like you have the phone
Mm,
like apps, she's
the
consuming
commercials.
commercials like
Hmm.
literal metal, like commercials about consuming her placenta and such like that. It's just all about like a big old metaphor for consumption, which since it's taken place in the modern world, I think it's also a big metaphor for just consuming overconsumption, and that
Hmm.
can be not helpful, especially in her case, quite literally.
But she gets off on it because it's like the only thing she has control of in her life is
Yeah,
swallowing things, and obviously that's concerning, but yeah, that is a real disease. I know there was a part where she's planting the flowers and she's staring at the dirt like really wanting to eat it.
yeah,
You could hear the music, like like she's just staring at it. And I'd always tell the story that my mom would eat dirt as a
yeah.
kid, or me as a kid, and her as my mom, when we'd go to the cemetery to visit my grandmother, her burial plot. My mom would eat the dirt,
Huh.
and I never thought I'd think of it, because when you're a kid and you're with your mom, you're like, it's normal, it must be normal, you know.
Yeah,
But now as an adult, I'm like, that was pretty weird, because she would only eat cemetery dirt. She wouldn't
like
eat dirt anywhere else.
is it for I can't conceive eating dirt. I don't eat dirt. I mean, I've had a friend tell me that dirt don't hurt, but dirt do hurt, especially with rocks in it.
I'm about to say, but dirt's dirty. Like that's the whole
Yeah,
thing. That's why it's called dirt because it's dirty.
exactly. Exactly.
I don't know. Like there's real foods that we shouldn't even be consuming. Like a fucking McDonald's hamburger that already has all these chemicals. Let alone eating dirt from the ground just because it's natural.
Did you know that this is a little tangent, but I'll get back to what the movie topic. Did you know that McDonald's stuff still has trans fats in it? When I was working at McDonald's, they had this right in the back, this big ol' uh health information about the foods, and it's like I think the Big Mac has like 10 grams of trans fat in it. It's a ton of. There's still a bunch of trans fat in McDonald's.
No, I believe it. I believe
Yeah,
it.
like
And
the
that was
only healthy thing is the salad.
that's barely healthy. You know,
Yeah, exactly.
I'd say it yeah, it has 10 trans fat like you said, but before they actually started, I guess, kind of carrying, they probably had like 30 trans fat or
Yeah.
something even more. So
This is the lowest amount they could have trans fat without getting pissing people off.
they're like, we're trying. And then let's see, there gets to a point where the family gives her a contract and says you're gonna have to go to this crazy house,
Yeah.
and if you don't, we're gonna have you no, you're gonna get a divorce.
Yes. You know what's
Yeah.
interesting?
Hmm.
Um every time that she's like trying to say, "No, this is going to be a big waste of time." It's a big waste of time to try to figure out what's the heck's wrong with me, right? Which I'm just like, you have all your life. Like when you know you won't know when the life has ended because you'll be dead. That's when you don't have time. But until then, you have all the time that you have to learn about yourself. And this woman doesn't seem like she's trying to learn about herself, which is a big problem. Um, Also, I just do like how she likes her husband. Like, it seems like she likes her husband,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
she's
Yeah, definitely.
not stopping eating metal, which is
But
interesting.
and then I don't think it was ever for money that she fell in love with him, because she was like in love with him before they got that house, before she kind of like, I don't know, fell into it.
Mm,
But
yeah.
her needing to not have to work or do anything was a result of him, becoming successful, which again, like, is not her fault, but it's like, I don't know, the parents seem to think like, "Oh, you're probably just using my son," or something like that.
Yeah, I did see that conversation like the very beginning talking to the in-laws. The in-laws like,
Mhm.
"You happy? Are you truly happy? Are you sure you're happy?" It's like the way that she's telling them yes, it's like not convincing, which is why they have to ask her several times.
But then
But
they're saying too, like, fake it till you make it. So even if you aren't happy, fucking act happy. Like,
are you a faker or are you a maker?
yeah, it's very strange. Like, even if you aren't happy in this life, fucking act it, because you're lucky to be in this life.
Yeah, you're lucky to be alive. It could be dead. And
Y-
I
Well, you could,
do like how she eventually finds a way to escape.
yeah, and that dude helps her out. That foreign nurse, he kind of gives her a head start and a way to run off, so they can't catch her.
Yeah.
She ends up at like a hotel with with piles of dirt, and I love that she's
Yeah.
like, I was thinking you could cosplay that. She was just like in her panties eating dirt, watching
Just
TV or
eating dirt.
like that was comfort to her. Like
Just eating dirt.
she was just comfortable there, and
You know what makes me comfortable? Eating cheesecake. Um,
Dude,
yeah.
cheesecake is good. I like that. If you ever gone to Jack in the Box, they have like a New York style vanilla cheesecake. That you could buy just a slice of it.
They have that at Jack in the Box? It's been a while
Yeah,
since I've been in an area where they have Jack in the Box.
yeah, they have a dessert like that's like so fucking good there. It's expensive, but it's good. But
Ooh,
cheesecake is good.
I'll have to
But
get that next time I'm there. But
yeah,
this woman, uh, I don't know how I don't know how she's gonna make money now that she's run away living on the streets. How do you think she's gonna make money? Like, what are some ways that she can make money with the low skills that she has? She's only been working at retail, and she's pretty, but she's also pregnant.
I mean, there's really just retail if she even can get back into it, and uh,
I'm sure she could get back into retail. I mean,
yeah. What made me felt even more sad about her situation is the part where she calls her mother,
yeah,
and her mother's like, "Oh yeah, I'd love to have you back, but
the
your s-
backhanded slap.
yeah, but your sister's here and the house is too much, and
I'm like, I don't know,
there's
lay
just
on the
no
floor.
room." And it's just yeah, it's just it's fucked up, but at the same time, like, you find out from the therapist that she's like a product of a rape. She's a rape baby, right?
Yeah,
So like, I don't know how you'd feel in your woman, so maybe you'd have a little bit more knowing on this. Like, if you gave birth to a baby from a rape, would
yeah.
you want it around? Like, it's a reminder, a constant reminder of that traumatic event, So
Uh,
I don't know who to feel bad for, cuz you want to feel bad for her, right? But it's like, why do you even have the baby, the mom, if you're not going to want this baby around or take care of it, cuz it's the the product of a rape,
I mean, it could also be like her. It could be like her circumstances surrounding the conception of the baby, right? So it's like she could have not been able to have access to like abortion stuff or even
Yeah.
afford it
Mhm.
like just like as Hunter has access to these abortion pills,
Mhm.
the mom could have not. And so
Yeah.
like having to raise this baby or like some sort of like social stigma, maybe she's living in
Mhm.
a place where it's like, well, the having a baby is a miracle. You gotta like,
Mhm.
take care of the baby no matter how it was conceived. And so I feel
Mhm.
bad.
Yeah.
I do feel bad for this for the mom and also Hunter having to exist and not be living in a nice comfortable two parent structure where they can both teach you about
Mhm.
life, but she's having to have more of an unstable situation, which is like I understand why she's like this, like how she has like nose spine because I bet like growing up it was a little bit confusing. It was very confusing for her and she doesn't quite know like what's going on. Maybe her mother has like a bunch of boyfriends coming over and it's like a
Mhm.
different father in the life, not even father, just like a boyfriend. And depending on what the father what the boyfriend's like, they could be nice or mean to the kid. So it's like just like an unstable situation producing lots of trauma, lots of painful memories, and therefore, I think Hunter, in order to escape the situation, like trying to escape this life, uncertain life, she decided to marry the first guy that gave her a chance, and she ends up understanding that she's unhappy in that life. Uh, would you agree with that, Reed?
Yeah, any I mean, any the first person that would have showed her love, like this dude, and even if he was just after her for like her looks or her pussy or whatever,
Right.
it must feel good because maybe, like you said, her whole life from the side of men, she felt unwanted,
Right.
and then even from her own mother, she probably felt this weird in limbo of I'm not supposed to exist, like
Right.
because of my mother. Maybe my mother looks at me like like a bad event. That's all I am to her is a bad memory.
That's true. Like
Yeah.
I found it freeing for her, like once she escapes this life, and I also find it hilarious that when we have the husband calling up on her and being like, yeah, you have no skills, you're pretty much worthless, what are you gonna do for money, what are you gonna do? And I'm just like, she needed this rude awakening, and she doesn't have any skills except for retail. And based on what the movie has shown me, she could have other skills, but I wasn't shown these skills. And even so, she's still willing to take a risk, and she's willing to start again, start over her life, conquer her life, and it seems like she's more happier for it.
Well, and then she eventually tracks down her actual dad, the rapist,
Yeah.
and she goes, just to see him, and he trips out. He's like, "Holy shit!" You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
now he has like this life, this family, everything's good,
Oh,
and
and
yeah,
getting to
it
see the product of your assault, pretty much.
yeah. So she's just there staring at him. He's staring at her, and he's like, "What do you want? Do you want to ruin my life?" And there you go. There's a whole nother thing. Like, who wants her? You know what I mean? Like even her biological dad there, is saying like, "Oh yeah, I did it. It was a control thing. I had the opportunity to rape your mother, and I did, and I feel sorry for it, but I don't know. Like it's sad. This just
Right.
seeing her. He's seeing the physical embodiment of what he did, you know what I mean? Like an actual person.
Right. It's like a
And
consequence.
yeah, like a living, breathing consequence. And uh what's she say? She asked him why she did it. He said it made him feel special. The secret made him strong, the power over someone that he felt like a god. And
Mm.
then when he went to jail, he got the shit beat out of him,
Ah,
and that knocked him back down to like, okay, I'm nothing.
right. Yeah, that's a terrible thing that he did, and a lot of pain that he's caused. Although, uh, I find it interesting that she's like that she's like now like finally being able to pinpoint her like sadness is like freeing in a way. You
hmm
know what I mean by that?
A little bit. I need a little bit more context, I guess.
So like she's like she's able to she's in this weird family, not happy. And I guess like leaving it is a way to pinpoint her sadness, like where her sadness comes from, right? Like
Yeah.
being able to leave it is like very freeing. And like I think that in itself is also a metaphor, like leaving your sadness behind in order to create yourself a happy life, even if it's comfortable, like taking risks.
hmm
I don't think I'm using the word metaphor correctly. but I guess it's like an analogy, I guess.
Hmm.
I don't know what the word for it. Symbolism. It's a symbolism. So, uh leaving leaving a comfortable but yet sad life to pursue something for your happiness, overall happiness, even if it's risky.
And that's a good, how you say, metaphor, allegory, or whatever for
Yeah.
her swallowing. Like her swallowing something's risky,
Yeah.
but it ends up making her happy, even though the risk is illogical, like it doesn't make sense, you know.
That's
And
true.
yeah, you're absolutely right. Like her leaving the comfort but unhappy life that she had to, I don't know if I'm gonna make it, but at least I know I'll be happier, or at
Right.
least I'll have the chance to be happier.
Right.
Yeah, and after, and then he says right here, what the rape father, whatever, he says that he's not ashamed of her, but he's ashamed of what he did.
Mm.
And she asks, "Am I like you?" And he goes, "Are you?" And she goes, "No, but I wanted you to say it." And he says it's not her fault,
Hmm.
and then she leaves. And I think that's a good, like, closing. Like, I don't know, maybe that's what's been bothering her the whole time, is maybe she felt it was her fault, her that she exists, but it's the father's fault.
It was her fault that she just, yeah. Um I could see how she like definitely thought of that. And that like weighed down on her soul. But now she has some closure and
Hmm.
she's able to escape the sad life and move on. Not swallow any more things, hopefully. Please
Well,
stop swallowing metal.
she swallows one more thing, and I think that's what the whole point of, like, the whole movie was, is she was trying to find the right thing to swallow, and at the end she swallows the abortion pill
Right.
or whatever, and that's the last thing she swallows, and then that's it. She feels good. Like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's as if her swallowing these random things was her body or mind blindly telling her, "Hey, you need to find the right thing to swallow. And until then, we're going to have you swallow the most random things?"
Ah, I hadn't considered that.
Yeah.
Um, I also had a read on this movie, like, don't trust your parents to bail you out of every situation,
Oh,
especially
yeah.
since the mom won't help her out in the
Uh-huh.
end. Like,
I've been there.
yeah, me too.
I've been
So,
there.
yeah, so just like having her learn this lesson and having to take control of her life. I do like that about her.
Hmm.
Um I felt like at the beginning of this movie, she was incredibly insufferable, and at the end of this movie, she was more likable. Did you get that
Yeah.
impression?
Yeah, it took, well, because she was fake at the beginning.
Yeah,
She was whatever she had to be liked by that dude and her mother-in-law, father-in-law, and even, like, the people they hang around with. Like, I know they
right.
had a party real quick for his birthday and
Yeah,
stuff, and uh, yeah, she had to be fake.
that is true. She had to be fake and fake her happiness. And it seemed like the husband's love for her was fake closer towards the end. Like, I mean, I can't tell if like sending her to a hospital was out of love or out of not wanting to deal with her. What do you
I think
think?
it I think it was a couple of things like that. It was those, what you're saying, plus for the safety of the baby, because I bet you once the baby was born, they were gonna fucking leave her in that crazy house for the rest of her
Right.
life. I feel like they just wanted, uh, a child. Like,
Yeah, they just
the
wanted a child.
yeah, they just wanted to pass on the bloodline or whatever. That's
But
typically what
then
the
what to
father
do with the
does.
child afterward? Like, what then? After you have a child, what now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I just feel like they could easily just leave her in that crazy house, and then it's like, dude, this dude has his pick of any other woman, because he has money. Uh, or the grandparents, I'm sure, would take care of the child. They have the money. Even a
Right.
nanny couldn't take care of it, but and just
True.
say, "Oh yeah, your mom's crazy. She's
Yeah.
in a crazy house," you know?
And then produce more pain and hurt for the child to experience, more generational pain and hurtness.
Mhm. Mhm.
This movie, I felt a lot of anger towards. I felt angry watching this movie.
Well, I had wanted, you know, this is the kind of movie like where you want to tell people. I mean, like, you know, we're cool. You review movies, so it's not
Yeah.
hard to tell you, hey, watch this movie, and then I want a girl's point of view of it, but I can't tell like my friends or my sister like, hey, watch this movie about this chick that swallows shit,
Yeah.
you know, because it's like, that was weird. I know, right? Like, it didn't. It's not really, you know, a movie that, it's not a popcorn eating movie. It's like
Right.
a thinker type of sick movie, and I figured like we'd get a good like conversation out of it, especially because you're
Right.
female, and knowing like, I don't know how that would feel, the what she may be feeling, you know, those emotions or what.
Right. Also this movie made me think. It made me like it did give me a think like you're explaining. I have my own review on Swallow before I discussed it with you, and I got to say that like talking it with somebody else like fleshes out what I think about the movie too.
Hmm.
Cause like in my review, it was mostly just like I hate this woman. Um,
Well, she is like annoying. She
yeah,
is an annoying woman. uh because he's like, it's me, or whatever you say, you know. I think I saw your review for it too, and she was just like annoying, like, be better, you know. But
yeah,
uh you know, and you can continue. I just know, like, I feel more sympathetic for her because she's a rape baby, and it's like you feel like you don't belong anywhere. I
right,
guess I could kind of get that, you know.
yeah, that makes sense. I do applaud the shot composition and the colors in this movie. Did you just notice that, like how artistic they were?
I like the setting, like that house on the fucking whatever, the edge of a forest is beautiful. I
Yeah,
know when she was setting up the nursery, those colors that come into the room, like the reds and the blues,
yeah,
and and you know, you're better. I'm sure you have a better eye for detail than I do as far as that, but yeah, just every time she's like gonna swallow something, it's like right there on her mouth. Like,
yeah,
I don't know, it's very, I don't know, it looks good.
yeah.
Uh, I couldn't tell you like critically, oh, the cinematography or the angles. You know, I'm not very good at that.
I can
But
tell you from like a rule of thirds standpoint, it's definitely followed that a lot, and it made me
mhm.
so happy. It made me pleased. And the colors worked very well together. This is a very artistic movie. Um, it's a movie designed to give you a big old think. If you had to rate this movie, what would you rate it?
If I had to rate this movie, no, if I had to rate if I had to rate this movie, probably an 8.
An
An
8?
8. Yeah, because it's one of those movies where, like, it was weird, and then the ending was like, "Eh," but you understand it, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And, like, it's supposed to, because at the end of the movie, I was like, "Oh," I thought, "Oh, women's rights." She was trying to just, abort the baby so she could be happy, but,
right.
like, watching it for a second time and thinking the idea that she, feel like a person where there's, she doesn't belong anywhere, you know, because she's a
Yeah,
rape baby, and that she doesn't want to bring another baby into the world like that.
right.
So yeah, I'd give it like a 8 out of 10.
After talking to you about it, I'd give it like a 7. Um, like I like the character progression, the character growth that happens in this movie. I just don't like the character throughout most of the movie. Like, I really applaud the art, like I said, and the thing that really turned me off to this movie is the whisper talking. There's so much of it. Like, I hated
Really?
it. Yeah, I
Huh.
hate the whisper talking. It just feels like their voices are empty and, like, devoid of emotion.
Uh-huh. Hmm.
I I guess that is the performance, but, like, the husband did it too, not just the chick. Like, the
Mhm.
chick is, like, whispering like, "Yeah, yeah, okay, yeah, okay," and the husband's also whisper talking throughout most of it until he's yelling, and then it's clear that he's yelling, but I honestly wish, like, he acted more, I don't know, authoritative? Like, he just kinda seemed there. He
The
didn't really seem
husband?
like a character to me.
The husband?
Yeah.
To me, he just seemed like an asshole.
Mm.
Like that whole line where it's like, oh, the night before, oh baby, you never can do no wrong. And
Yeah.
then the next day he just saw, did you iron this tie?
Yeah.
Like you're not supposed to iron it, you're supposed to steam it. And then he's like super pissed about it, like she just fucking committed a sin, like uh can you wear a different tie? Nothing that goes with this shirt, and he's just taking it off all pissed off.
Then don't
And
wear a tie. I don't know. It just
and
it just seems like
just the night before he tells her
yeah,
that.
just the night before. I do think that he gets some well-deserved karmatic justice. Um, he should know better than to say things loosely just to make her
Yeah.
feel better. So, I do like him partially, not as much as I like the guy trying to take care of her. I like her the most. I like him the most.
Yeah, yeah,
I
that,
think he
like,
was
nurse dude.
Russian. Is he a Russian guy?
I don't remember what he was. He was, like, foreign.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I liked that guy. So yeah, based off of that, all of that, I'll give it a 7. Um, so Lorenzo, I got 2 movie ideas: Ghostbusters or Evil Dead. Which one do you want to watch?
Hmm. I'd rather do Evil Dead.
Evil
Which
Dead,
Evil Dead, though? Because
the
there's
original one,
the original one, like, the
the
actual
OG.
scary one?
The actual scary one where it's all POV shots and it's very amateur as fuck. Yeah, that one.
Yeah. Alright, yeah, that one. I like that one because I know there's 2 that go f by Evil Dead, and, yeah, I mean, not that the other one's good too, but yeah, it's always a treat to watch the original Evil Dead. I haven't seen it in a long time either.
Mm.
It's legit
I
scary.
Yeah, I reviewed it pretty recently. But I'd like to watch it again cuz it's so good. So, yeah, it looks like The Evil Dead will be next week's movie of choice then. So, um any final thoughts that you have on this movie?
Well, real quick, we're gonna play a quick game because I like trying to find a game that'll go with every movie. And
All right.
this one's gonna be called "What Did They Swallow?" And
Oh geez.
I'm gonna show you a series of pictures of either X-rays or people, and you're gonna have to guess what it is that they like to swallow that is so odd. And it's like
Okay.
I think there's 9 pictures. But, let me add this to the stream. So, if
Okay.
you look at this picture here, this was, like, some old dude, I think he was, like, 70 something. They scanned his stomach here, and they found this. What is in his stomach?
The fuck is all those arrows for?
Because
Why are they
that's his
pointing at?
stomach. They're pointing down at everything that is foreign that is in his stomach. That's not supposed to be there. Like, that big old glowing thing is, not supposed to be there, but what do you think it is?
Um, it looks like a, those loofahs? It looks like a loofah or
Yeah,
Like,
I could see that. That would suck swallowing a lethal hole though.
yeah. Or maybe he swallowed a bunch of tiny little things that collect in his
uh
stomach.
uh-huh, you're getting
So
there. You're getting there.
maybe like uh bobby pins or like those needles.
So I think he was like 70 something and they x-rayed him and they found that throughout his whole life he would swallow coins.
Oh.
And so that's just like a mass of coins in his stomach that had
Oh.
that had finally, like, when he went to the x-ray and they were like, what's this solid like feeling in your stomach, like, how like big boys or old men have like guts, like those
Yeah.
big, like a gut that sticks out. And it's like, I
Yeah.
don't think yours should be this hard, and they x-rayed him and there's so much of coins.
Did they like remove it?
I'm pretty sure they did.
Okay.
Some of these I know like after stories, but that one is just like a bunch of coins.
A bunch of coins.
So this
Uh
woman here, I don't know if you've ever seen her. She was on My Strange
she
Addiction.
swallows food.
She swallows that box right there is the remains of her husband, his ashes,
What?
and she dips her wet finger in there and swallows his ashes. Yeah, like
What? That's weird.
yeah, that's what she does. That's what she does. Exactly.
Like
Like you're dipping into frosting on a cake or something, or but yeah,
eats her
she likes,
dead husband.
yeah, she's eating her dead husband's
Is
ashes.
that cannibalism technically?
I don't know what that is. It's not good, but then but
No.
then but then also I wonder, like, cuz your husband's ashes aren't infinite. Like, what happens when you're done eating your
Yeah.
whole husband? Like they don't
Get
last
another
very long.
husband, uh make him into ashes, eats that some more.
Either that or just eat something that is kind of like ash. I don't know. That doesn't seem healthy. Well, obviously not, because it's your dead's husband. So there's a lot of things there.
Wow.
This dude. Let me see. I got his name here. He's an old actor. Uh, Bondo Mitsurugo the Eighth, I think is
Okay.
his name. Do you know what he ate or
Um
swallowed? I'm sorry.
um rice cakes whole.
He that like puffer fish that's
The
very
poisonous
toxic.
one?
Yeah, the one that you have to cut just right,
Yeah.
because if you don't, then you'll get very toxic and die. He thought he was so strong that he could eat the whole puffer fish,
Oh no.
and 8 hours later he died. Go
Oh, he
figure.
did. Oh man, he died thinking he was invulnerable.
Yeah, it's like, oh, yeah, don't just feed me the non-poisonous part. Feed me the whole thing.
I bet you, it sounds like a Princess Bride situation where you take the poison and you keep taking the poison until you like add a little bit of resistance so you can drink the poison without dying. Is this what's happening here?
I just feel like it's like, dude, I paid for the whole fish. Give me the whole fish.
Yeah,
Why are you? Why are
exactly.
you? I paid the money. Why are you giving me only the half that's not poison? It's like, dude, because we don't want you to die. That's why.
Exactly.
Uh,
All
let's
right.
see.
What is this chick?
Uh, this chick. What do you think she swallowed a lot of?
Alcohol bottles.
Okay. Apparently this woman. I think I read right. She swallowed a stick of gum every day for
A
like so
stick of
long.
gum?
Yeah, like, when you chew gum, but she would swallow it, right?
Yeah, I thought that
And
just passes through your system.
actually, I don't think it does. I don't know, but or maybe it does. But from the story I have here, she had so much gum in her like stomach that it started, anything she would eat, it would take its nutrients. So she basically died of like malnourishment because the
It
gum was.
sucked her nutrients out of the food. What the fuck? You just got gum lining her small intestines or some shit?
Yeah,
No.
it's just it's like a fake organ, all that gum stuck in her, like it just
Yeah.
sucking the nutrients.
Oh, gross. Wow. Oh, I don't want to eat gum anymore.
This one I like how her name is Shannon. What do you think she swallowed?
Oh, based on her appearance and her appearance, I'm gonna guess she ate a cow, but a whole. She swallowed a cow whole, but only the calves, the tiny ones.
Oh, okay, a calf. Oh, that would be
Yeah, a
fine.
calf.
That would be juicy too.
Yeah.
She drinks a shot glass of gasoline a day.
Why?
She is so addicted to the taste of gasoline, she drinks at least a shot a day of gasoline.
Oh, is she? Can I light her on fire? Would she combust?
I don't know, but like it's funny that she was basically like 19 and she was drinking, for however long, I think a year or two straight, a shot of gasoline every fucking morning. And it's like how do you not like feel that in your stomach or your brain or your
I bet she
teeth,
did.
you know? I don't know. When she went to the doctor, they were like, yeah, your liver, like, it looks kind of fucked up. You need
Gee,
to
I
stop
wonder
this.
why.
Are you drinking gasoline? Yes, I am. Exactly.
Oh my
Uh,
goodness.
and then she's young too, but I love the smell of gasoline. I wish they would make a cologne of it.
I hate the smell of gasoline. Ugh.
From a distance, I like it. You can't like straight up go and snort it, or you'll get cancer. But
Right.
it's still
How does
good.
she not get cancer?
I don't know. That's the thing, and it
Hmm.
even has. I don't have any pictures, but her just like drinking straight from a fucking the red jug and shit. Sometimes.
Oh no.
What do you about this woman? What do you think she swallowed?
She swallowed somebody else's jawbone in order to get a jawline.
She does look very like she's full of something here, like she's hiding food in her mouth.
Yeah,
She
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 does.
she would eat paint. She swallows paint.
Paint? How
Yeah,
is she not dead?
I don't know. They show things of her like eating, spoonfuls of paint from those little like sampler cups, or getting markers, the paint markers, and just sucking on them like lollipops.
Would she be able to recommend me which paint to use to paint a house or just what type that she likes to eat?
Just the flavor, probably.
Yeah.
If you want to paint your house a flavor of paint that tastes really good, here's the pick.
Yeah, she's the choice.
I think I think there's nine. Let me
Is
see.
that
Here's
it?
seven. Here's seven. I think we have a few more after this. What did this dude eat
Ah,
or
here's
swallow?
what is up with his thumb first of all? Is he double jointed? Is that what he's doing?
He's just doing a thumbs up because he's in the hospital from whatever he ate. What did he swallow?
Well, I'm going to guess that he swallowed a massive dildo based on his appearance.
Based on being in a hospital room.
Yeah, I'd be like, I survived it.
I don't know if I'd want to survive that, if I ended up doing that for whatever reason.
Yeah.
So this dude at 19 years old, he swallowed as a dare a slug, right? And
Uh,
the slug that he swallowed ended up having a rat lungworm disease in it. So
ew.
he went into a coma for over 400 days,
What
and
the
then he
fuck?
and then he became paralyzed for over 8 years before he died. Uh,
Oh.
a horrible death of being paralyzed.
Well, I guess you shouldn't do things on a dare. This is what this is telling me. Fuck your buddies. They don't want for what's the best for you. They only want
Hmm.
what's entertaining for you. Entertaining for them, I mean. Um, and don't swallow slugs. I mean, I've seen my brother swallow an earthworm.
I feel
That's a
like
little
worms.
weird.
I feel like worms are fine if it's not like a tapeworm. Like earthworms seem very like even in TV shows and stuff. Like people actually swallow them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, even fucking
Yeah,
fish swallows worms.
yeah. And you
Should be
eat
fine.
fish, so
Yeah.
but yeah, this dude swallowed that slug, went into a coma, became paralyzed, and what sucks about his ordeal is that his friends could like see in his eyes that his brain was still like working, but he's just paralyzed. So
Ew.
he's just like trapped in his body for the next 8 years
Oh no, that's
until
a
he di-
terrible fate.
until he dies. From I don't know, just he has to be fed and kind of have to be given oxygen because he's paralyzed.
Oh no,
So
that feels
yeah,
sad for this guy.
don't eat slugs. Tell you that.
That's the
Don't eat.
ultimate lesson.
Yep. And what the woman? You see her? What did she swallow?
The rest of the family.
This wasn't the only picture I could find of her, but I thought this
Okay.
was a funny picture. So I don't know if you ever heard of this. This is a story I remember. But when the Nintendo Wii came out, do you remember the Nintendo Wii?
Oh yeah, I've
Okay,
played a lot of Wii.
okay. So when it first came out, it was very hard to get a hold of a Nintendo Wii. They were sold out everywhere. I remember me and my brother had to wait in line at Walmart, get a ticket. We were lucky to get one. Well, this radio contest was holding a contest called "Hold Your Wii for a Wii," where they had contestants drink a shit ton of water, hold in their piss, and
Ooh,
whoever
is this the
lasted
woman
the
who died
yeah,
from
and
drinking too much water?
she ended up dying from drinking too much water. She
Oh my goodness,
she like
this is the
drowned.
woman.
Yeah, she drowned basically from the inside for so much water from not peeing.
I do know because of this. I've been told this story. I didn't know it was this lady, but I've been told like the limit is 1.6 gallons without having the piss, or else all of your red blood cells and all your animal cells in your side your body will just explode because there's no cell wall to trap all the water in.
Really? I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
that's
I
why
didn't
she died because all the red blood cells burst.
Can you do but like I pee as an old man, I pee a lot now, I feel. I don't know how often you pee, but could you hold in your pee like for I don't know, I couldn't hold in my pee for like so long before just fucking pissing myself.
Uh,
Let alone
12
be
hours is my record.
he had a stopwatch
Yeah,
recording yourself.
I did.
No, it's man, that would suck to just die from drinking water and not pissing.
Yeah, it was incredibly irresponsible on the radio's
Yeah,
side. I'm
yeah.
sure they didn't know that you could die from drinking too much water, but you can. And no, I bet no scientists. They were not consulting a scientist of any kind.
At least they got that Wii, man. That
At
Wii,
least they got the Wii. Their mother's dead, but hey, we got this Nintendo Wii.
nice shot.
Yeah.
They're fucking playing bowling and shit. Strike, spare.
I mean, I used to
Eh,
watch a lot of I used to play a lot of Wii Sports.
oh yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
It was such a great party
Totally worth the
system.
mother's death.
I feel like it's equal at least to the death of a mother.
Yeah.
I don't know if they trump each other at all, but I feel like your mom or a Wii.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Oh,
this is
we.
yeah, yeah. I'll take the Wii. Yeah,
Yeah.
the Wii will last longer. And here's the last one. This African American woman. What do you think she swallows?
Oh, earrings? No, she's wearing earrings. Why would she swallow earrings? Um, um, hmm. Tub of lard.
So what she does is she eats, and I don't know how to put this, air freshener. Like
Air freshener?
like the Glade air freshener that you
Yeah.
spray and the aerosol goes in the air. So
Like
she'll just
Febreze?
yeah, so she'll just spray it straight in her mouth. Yeah, yeah, like that and eat it, or to feel more edible, she'll spray it on a cup of ice like a snow cone or something and eat a bunch of ice with the fucking chemical on it, like the air freshener.
Ew. That doesn't
Yeah,
seem like it tastes good.
I
It's
don't
supposed to
think
smell
so.
good, but not taste good.
Yeah, like you smell like Hawaiian vacation, but it tastes like shit. I don't know.
I'm thinking like the only way I could think about ever eating air freshener is if you thought that the inside of your body needed to smell better. or something, and instead of like brushing your teeth or something like that, you decide to be like, all right,
That
I don't need to brush my teeth. I just have
that
air freshener in my mouth.
that sounds logical. Like, like because of this, then you have that, like cause and
Right.
effect. That sounds like that would make sense. But I don't
Yeah.
know. I couldn't see myself eating it. Like I told you that last stream, even eating like colored ketchup like grossed me out. Let
Yeah.
alone all these things people have swallowed, and many more people are out there who just eat weird shit.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
true. It is really weird what people
Yeah.
eat. Um well, is that all of them?
Yeah, that's it for today. I think we had a great show, wouldn't you say, fellow audience? I don't know.
Uh,
Uh but Evil Dead sounds great.
yeah. Well, if you want to find me, you can check out my link tree to help support the daily grindiness of all my daily movie reviews. Get the Fansly. I also daily movie reviews, youtube.com/ASC presents a movie review every day. Plus I do streams there. I'm doing Fallouts. Um, most days, Fansly, most days. Um, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday for Fansly I have right now, and I want to do more streams. And that's the daily grindiness. That's where you can help support the daily grindiness. And um, where can they find you, Lorenzo?
You can find my podcast, That's All Funny, anywhere podcasts are available, as well as on YouTube, also youtube.com/Lorenzo Arreola, where I release the podcast there, as well as videos about wrestling or collabs with great people such as Mint Salad, like this show, Tits and Areolas. We do this every Tuesday, or
Yes,
unless otherwise noted. But yeah, I think yeah, that's good. I think I don't know. I was never good at ending stuff. But yeah, that's all you could find me in those places.
yes.
Yeah.
Well, this is very fun. Evil Dead next week.
Yeah, the original Evil Dead next week. We'll take care of that, and I hope all of y'all have a great rest of your week. But I'm Areolas.
And I'm Tits.